Athletes Lauren Betts and Kiki Rice. And Coach, if you would make an opening statement, then we'll turn it over for a couple questions for the players. Thank you.
Thank you, media, for being here. We appreciate you. First of all, I mean, Ohio State, they play so hard. And I just think they just keep coming at you over and over again. And, I thought there were plenty of times where we had an opportunity to maybe stretch it out. And then they created a quick turnover, got an offensive board. And I just want to say they're a really good team. And the way that their guards fight to get around, especially with our 4-player mismatch, I just think they showed a lot of fight. And I think they're going to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. Really proud of our team, the composure that they had. We would love to make it a little cleaner and be able to find touches for certain mismatches that we were trying to take advantage of. But again, I credit Ohio State for making that difficult for us. They weren't going to let us just run the things that we wanted to run without forcing some situations where we just had to get downhill and make plays. And so, I was really proud of only 12 turnovers. We had 7 at the half and really challenged them to do a great job of taking care of the basketball. I only had 5 in the second half. And then secondly, really challenged them at halftime about how we were rotating and making sure that we didn't give up threes. And they only got 2 threes in the second half and limited them to only 6 attempts. And I thought those 2 things were really good halftime adjustments that were important to us. So really proud of our team, and we get a chance to pursue another 1-0.
Okay, California Post, first question.
Can you hear me? Ben Bulge, California Post, for Kiki and Lauren. Coach wanted you to come out stronger today and be the aggressor that she said made a big point of that post game yesterday. How much was that in your minds going into the game? Clearly you had a great start, up 14-3. How important was that, and setting the tone early?
Yeah, that was definitely important. I mean, we kind of reiterated over these past 24 hours about how at this time of the year you have to come out strong. Every single team you play is going to be a high-level team, so you don't want to get yourself down early. And I think that was going to be a really important thing for us today against Ohio State, and just proud of how we responded in that and just took it possession by possession, but had a lot of detailed focus and didn't let any possession slip by.
Second question, third row.
Hi, Ben Messinger, Los Angeles Daily News. Both of you guys had good games, but 5 players on your team had scored in double figures. Can you just talk about how important the depth is in these important games to really just extend your lineup?
Yeah, I mean, it's super important. I think, this team is really special, and this group of girls that we have together is not normal. I mean, to be in these type of games, you're definitely going to need every single person. I'm proud of how everyone had the confidence to just step up and do what was needed when we needed them. And yeah, I mean, it just speaks to the depth of our team. It's just super special, and I'm just really proud of how everyone came out today. I mean, even the people that didn't play much, we talked about in the locker room, they came out and they got us a passion play. Like, that means a lot that, no matter who was in the game, they try to help in any way they could.
Okay, let's go to the Post.
Piggybacking off of that, I thought that Angela and Sienna off the bench were tremendous. Can each of you talk about their contributions today and helping you win this game, and when just what they bring off the bench?
Mm-hmm. For sure. I mean, they were both huge. I think that was really, really obvious and helpful for us today. I mean, Sienna came off the bench and had a ton of really, really good defensive plays, and I think that's an area that she's been working on a ton, but the way she got deflection, slid her feet, just had some really smart plays down the stretch that helped us, that kind of motivated us to go on a run, was super great. And Ange, I mean, every single time she comes in the game, she gives us a spark. She offensive rebounded really well both today and yesterday. She hustles, she defends, knocks down shots, and I think the way that she just comes in and impacts the game is something that we're really grateful to have off the bench, and she just makes us better every single time she's on the floor.
Let's go to the center aisle.
Yeah, Max Schaefer, SB Nation. Kiki, like your coach touched on kind of in the opening statement, there was a lot of opportunities for Ohio State to kind of narrow the gap. They got it down to 10, 9 continuously. You guys showed a lot of poise in those moments to kind of maybe come up with a good bucket, kind of get an inside look for Lauren or an open 3. As kind of the head of the snake and the point guard, what do you kind of look in those moments to kind of keep your team calm and just keep controlling the pace of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can see all around, like, we have a veteran group, so in those moments where maybe they just went on a run or there seems like it's a key possession, we just have a ton of confidence in each other to make the right play, to knock down a shot, to get the look we want to get. So I do think it's all about just kind of figuring out who do we want to get the shot to, what do we want to force, and I think we just as guards, especially Charlize and I, we just got to be calm in that, be confident. Ohio State's a really good defensive team, and they play aggressive. So for us, it was just about taking care of the ball and being able to get what we want. But I think we have veteran presence, so you just see we're fine in those moments. When teams go on runs, we're always pretty calm.
Okay, we'll have 2 more questions for the players. First, up in the second row, and then in the fourth row. Go ahead.
Hi, ladies. Brad from W. Swish. Gianna, huge game. 13 points, a few threes, and great defense. Can you just speak to what her impact has been in the last 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, she's a sniper. I mean, she's just, one of those players that is just always going to be a go-to for us offensively. She's just super efficient, and we have so much trust and confidence in her. She's very consistent for us, and I'm just, to go to your point, like defensively, I think that's something that she's been working on all season. And lately, she's been really on top of her stuff, so I'm really proud of her. But yeah, I think, a lot of our defensive, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't know. Deflections, all of that.
Yeah.
It comes from her. I mean, like I told her, in our SC game when we played them there, like, all of that pressure that we had, it started with her. And so when she makes big plays, like, I think it's a really big deal for our team. So I'm just really, really proud of her.
Okay, last question for the players.
Double-digit steals and a lot of blocks today. How important was that? And did it feel like you took your defensive game up another notch today?
Yeah, I mean, defense is something we pride ourselves on. We have a ton of people who can guard all around. So just creating havoc, disrupting people's possessions, making sure that we're dictating, not them dictating us, is something that we take pride in and we've been focusing on, especially in the postseason. So I thought we did a good job of that today.
All right, ladies, you are dismissed. Again, their locker room will close in 10 minutes at 4:37. First question for Coach Close.
Steve Strimming, Excel Sports. Corey, I thought game inside a game now. I thought when you slipped Dugalish in the game a little bit earlier than normal, and I thought Ohio State took a while to recognize that, and you got that lead and never really let it up.
Well, we did know that that 4-player matchup, if they were not going to go double big, that would be something that would be a real advantage for us. And so we wanted to get to that sooner rather than later. But the other part about it is that she does a really good job in press offense, too. And so if they're going to go trap the guards or make it difficult, we can always bring it back to that person as a trusted inbounder, and she's really good in those scenarios. So that's why I went to her earlier. But I was really proud of, our team founder in those mismatches, but there was some awareness defensive plays. They hadn't been running that elevator screen for a long time, and Ange recognized it, stepped out and stopped that 3 by Chance Gray, and I was really impressed with those kinds of awareness plays by her. But her ability to slide her feet defensively, it allows us to switch more, but also her ability to be really trusted with the basketball against a pressure team. Was a huge part of our game plan today.
Mike?
Michael Presta, NCAA.com. Coach, you said yesterday, this time of year, you really don't want survive in advance. You want thrive in advance. Which one was this?
Closer to thrive. How about that? I think that, there were some moments I thought in a little bit in the second quarter and a little bit in the third that we sort of got sped up, but I thought our responses were really good. And we started out the right way. It's not as really that we went up 14-3. It was more so the energy that we were playing with. And I want to piggyback on something that Lauren said that I think is really important to us. I challenged our bench. I said, if nothing else, when you come in, you should have pride to get a passion play. And for us, a passion play is 7 non-statistical categories that we believe lead to winning possessions. And all 3, Lena Bilic, Amanda Muse, and Sienna Betts all did that in the first half, which allowed me to rest our guards a little bit more in that first half because I knew they were going to have to stay the course in the second. So I think where I'm really most proud of our thriving is that the way in which everybody made a contribution and chose to be an add to winning possessions.
Okay, let's go to the post.
Bulge, California Post. We've talked about the balance of this team. How much is that going to help you the rest of the season, especially in a tough NCAA tournament game where it's kind of pick your poison especially with some of the people you bring off the bench in addition to your starters?
Well, I think lots of coaches like to say you have 6 starters or you have 7 starters. I think anybody, if you ask anyone else on another coach, they would say the same about us. And I think that when you have such a deep team that can make high-level contributions, so double, digit points, rebounds, assists, they can impact the game in so many different ways. It just increases your margin for error, right? And that not all of them are going to be on. I was actually really proud right before I came up here, I pulled Gabs aside and I thought she was really big down the stretch. And what I like about that the most is that she struggled a little bit in that middle of the second half. And I just thought it showed a lot of her mental toughness, that when we needed her the most, she was going to be there for us on the defensive end and the rebounding end. And so I just think there's going to be all these different moments. And when you have as many people that are as skilled as we do, you may not know who it's going to be, but as long as no one cares about the who, I like the fact that it could be someone different every night, because every game's going to force you to adjust. And, we obviously want to play through the paint, and Ohio State makes you you can't just move the ball comfortably to get the kind of paint touches that you want to make. And so we got to adjust and do different things. But I think I have the players to adjust and, sort of pick your poison, as you mentioned.
Okay, unfortunately, we are out of time now, and we're going to have to let Coach go.
Sorry, I was too long-winded. Sorry.
That's okay, Coach. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you guys again for being here. Appreciate you.